Blog Talk Radio.
You are now listening to the Evolution Hour with hosts Rob Gauthier and George Spirakis. Hey everybody, this is the Rob and George Enlightenment Evolution Hour. This is Rob.
And this is George.
And we are here on this beautifully marvelous Wednesday evening at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. That's 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Time. As we are here every Wednesday to bring you guys the Rob and George Enlightenment Evolution Hour. This is no exception. We will be here every week, rain, snow, sun, or shine, to bring you guys the best of metaphysical enlightenment to the highest degree. We love getting you guys to call in. We love getting to interact with all of you guys. And you can call in anytime during the show at area code 347-308-8788. And before we get to our announcements, before we get to all those things, what about you, brother? Have you heard anything this week stimulating or things that people are going through or saying?
Really not too much outstanding. It seems to be pretty quiet. I know that from our session today with Treb, there was more of a balancing of the male and female energies again. So I think that's really the most of it. But overall, pretty constant forward movement.
Oh, absolutely, brother. It's, everybody's moving forward. I know at the ending of last year was kind of rough for a lot of people, breaking through a lot of beliefs. And that's what we're going to talk about today, as well as taking your calls. We're going to talk about what the new year has in store. Trev talked a little bit about it at the beginning of the month, actually on New Year's Day. It's halfway through the month. And he's going to take us through the rest of January on a session that myself and George did earlier today. And we recorded the audio clips, and we're going to share that with everybody right now. Or actually, we'll do that a little bit later in the show. First of all, I want to go through some announcements. The Rob and George Enlightenment Evolution Hour is here, as I said, every week to help everyone raise the collective consciousness. We love taking callers. We love doing this. From the bottom of our heart, it's truly our highest excitement. We also do this where it costs to broadcast. So we do accept donations. There's lots of ways to give donations. You could go to the Rob and George Evolution or Enlightenment Evolution Hour Facebook page. You could also go to my Facebook page. There's also a way through PayPal. You can go to therobandgeorgeshow@gmail.com. Send your donations through there. Anything that anyone can do is very, very well accepted and very appreciated by both of us. But if you guys can't do that, if you don't feel it's necessary, whatever the case is, we don't care. We're here regardless because we love you guys. We want to do this for everyone. Also, to get a hold of us, you can get a hold of us on the Facebook, the Rob and George Enlightenment Evolution Hour page. There's also a group called Friends of Rob and George on Facebook. We also frequent a couple other groups on Facebook from some dear friends of the show. The Yael Civilization is one group that we're in quite a bit. There's one called Bashar. I believe the name of it would be Bashar, Cryon, Pleiadian Collective, Adronis, Treb, Yeshua, which is all of the channelers that we know and then that we've connected to and that are well liked in the resonated material. That's another group you guys can come and join. And that's all about channeling. As you guys know, I channel Treb, and I do that frequently, and that's kind of where we come from the show from. We try to get all the information that myself and George have done and kind of collect it all into the show. Brother, you've worked with me and Treb for a couple of years now. You've been in there in the gutters with us at the very beginning where it was real rough and real tough. There wasn't a lot of people, and you went through this whole process with both of us, and we love you guys. And everyone who gets a chance to say hi to George on Facebook or to tell him how much you appreciate him too, you're a huge part of this, brother, and we love you.
Oh, thank you, brother. It's my pleasure. My pleasure completely.
Well, I know you love doing this just as much as I do, and it's very important to kind of get into that mindset of helping others, and that's something that me and George have both been able to do for the last couple of years. That's really helped get us on track in our own personal lives and be able to share that. We have a couple announcements, too. The Rob and George Show, we're revamping it just a little bit. On the first of every month, we are going to be connecting with Treb. This will be a live show. This will be Treb Channeling while George takes the questions from everybody and also kind of extends on specific answers with everyone. And from now on, that will be the first Wednesday of every month. We will have Treb here live taking questions, a 2-hour special at the first of every month. That's for all of your guys' convenience sake, so you guys can remember, first Wednesday of every month. And on the third and or fourth Wednesday, depending on how many Wednesdays there are in a month, we will also be having a guest. And we have a guest next week, too, brother. Would you like to tell them about our special guest, Daniel?
Daniel Scranton, one of our favorites. Yeah, he's a guy coming back, the channeler of the Creators and Ophelia, which we all love. And I'm so excited about that.
Oh, absolutely. He's a great guy, too. And a lot of channelers come on and kind of talk. Oh, sorry, brother. Did I cut you off? You might have cut out.
No. I was through. He's just a great guy and really open to helping anyone that seeks him out. Anybody that is looking to expand their consciousness and some channeling, as all the channelers do. Wendy Kennedy, Brad Johnson, they're just wonderful, and I would suggest anybody that's interested in doing any sessions to contact these people, because they're really wonderful people.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of Brad Johnson as well as Wendy Kennedy, we will have both of those guests revisit us this year. I've talked to both of them, and they're really excited to come on. In fact, Brad Johnson will be on in March 19th. That's the third Wednesday of March. He will be on as our special guest then. So look forward to that. Wendy, I'm getting hold of her, and we're setting up our schedule, and she'll be on sometime this year as well. So everyone who looks forward to our guest show, we're going to be having at least one of those a month. We're going to have at least one channeling per month with Treb. We'll try to get more of those in, as well as finishing up the Density Masterclass 101 Part 2. We will be doing that later on in the year, too. There was a lot of excitement about the Density class. And basically, for those of you who might have missed the first one, if you look up the Density Masterclass 101, it is all about intense, in-depth information for beginners to understanding the complexities of how reality works on a physical level and a non-physical level. It introduces things that are as simple as consciousness evolution or consciousness densities, as some call it, all the way to the higher vibrational levels or harmonic levels, as some would call it, and everything in between. It basically gives you a laid-out map of the journey of the soul as it starts from a first density entity, rock, electricity, water, fire, and builds itself up into these beautiful entities like Treb in the fifth density, or like Ardith in the sixth density, and even beyond into the non-physical, such as the collectives, the Pleiadian collective, Abraham Hicks, that's another collective consciousness that's non-physical. So all of these things are so beautiful, and that's what we're going to be talking about on that. So let's look forward to that later this year. We'll make the announcement when we set the date. Anything else that you can think of, brother? Anything coming down the pipe that I might have missed, or anything you can think of?
I'm trying to think of what I listened to. I know I listened to Wendy's yearly channeling that she had, Wendy Kennedy, and it was very insightful in terms of what we might expect, what is different than 2013. So I would like to suggest anyone that is looking to get some more insight into 2014 and what it might hold for us to listen to that channeling by the P's, Pleiadians. So it's wonderful.
Oh, that's beautiful. I wasn't aware of that. I'll have to listen to that. And if you have a link too, brother, maybe off air, shoot me that link, because I'd love to hear that. Wendy Kennedy, a very great person. Me and George have both got to meet her. I know you've always loved her work, brother, but meeting her just put that cherry on the cake.
Yeah, absolutely. She's a special person, and would like to just send thanks to her for what she's doing. And she works with Nora Harold, who's another wonderful channeler, and it would be wonderful to get her on the show as well. Maybe separately or together would be great. It would that would be a great show.
Oh, absolutely. And that's something, too. We will extend that olive branch of peace and love out to Nora Harold, too, because she's another great channeler. And any time that she'd like to come on the show, we'd welcome her as well. We love to deal with channelers, but we're also going to have some guests this year that are not channeling. And we'd like to hear what you guys want to hear about. This is what we're here for you guys. So if you guys want to talk, last week we got a great idea, or maybe it was the week before, about crystal experts, and I know very well a crystal expert who would be willing to come on and talk about different kinds of crystals, the energies that they hold, what crystals are, how they deal and interact with consciousness, and all of the in-depth things that you guys want to know. Please send us your suggestions on Facebook, either myself or George, or on the Rob and George or the Rob and George Show at gmail.com email address. Just connect to us. Let us know what kind of people you want to hear talk, as well as the channel material stuff, because we know you guys love the channeling as well, but we also want to get people who are experts in all various lives, because in reality, we all channel in our own way. When we're excited, when we're in that moment, the information flows so quickly and so greatly, and that's what channeling is, just to a little different of a degree. So anything you guys want to hear, please let us know. We'd love to hear from you guys. Before we take any callers, brother, is there anything else you want to cover real quick?
No, just want to thank all of our listeners last week for a wonderful show, and the callers that called in. It was another beautiful show, and the co-creation callers, when they do call in, it's again, we're finding out so much unity in these people that call in, and the relationships that are created are just you can't. Listeners out there that listen to our show every week and in the archives, and wanted to thank you all.
Absolutely, brother. We couldn't do it without the callers. That's what makes this show. And speaking of that, we'll take our very first caller. We have a 772 area code. Who do we have with us this evening? 772? Who do we have with us this evening?
Mute. My name's Phoenix.
Pardon me? Couldn't hear you very well.
I'm sorry. I was changing from having a headset on to get into my phone. My name's Phoenix, and I was calling you guys in regards to the channeling.
Hi, Phoenix.
Beautiful. Hey, Phoenix, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. I've been investing some time since Christmas into researching a lot of different topics that have intrigued me. And so on New Year's, I was at a gathering, and somebody became a channel. And a lot of people knew this woman and had not seen her in that state of consciousness before. And so we were able to talk to her and get like a response from the collective consciousness. And so it turned me on to some topics and kind of led me to you. And on Facebook, I go by the name of Daka Jiphi, Jiphi, and so that's how I found you. And so I've come across an individual by the name of Kalo, Kallo Hill, and I believe him to be a channel, and it's from what he's sharing with me, it's from the Pleiades, and that he has some technology and some information he wants to birth to the community. And so I wanted to bring this to your guys' attention and see if you're able to tap into that field, and anything that can be brought to light would be wonderful.
Well, absolutely. This is always a beautiful subject. It's more difficult for me to kind of tap into someone's energy without them being present. But is there any kind of ideas or feelings that you've got in that communication with this person as far as what types of technology they're wishing to introduce?
So I'm a technologist. At 19, I developed video games at Microsoft. I owned a wireless business in Alaska by the time I was 21. I'm now 30, and I've been beginning to dive into quantum physics and different sciences. And with that, I've come across a couple different pieces of technology, some indestructible or near indestructible materials, some communications infrastructure, and invisibility, the ability to cloak, a Hadron Collider and a black hole system, Nazium Hermine and different physics. And so I recently spoke with Andrew D. Basaggio, who is looking to become a presidential candidate here in the future. And last week I was on Blog Talk Radio with somebody from the Disclosure Project in regards to disclosure, and specifically we were talking about time travel. And so I'm beginning to comprehend the physics of how to speed light up beyond the speed of light, and different things are coming to light. And so in this search, I came across this gentleman who intrigued me because I had an experience a couple of years back, and then it's parlayed into some more recent experiences where I watched a star drop out of the sky before my eyes, and now I own a UAV, an unmanned aerial vehicle, and I've flown them, and you can hear them from 500 feet away because they have props. Now they have other types of UAVs that are silent, and I comprehend different technologies. But this star in particular that dropped out of the sky, flew before my eye, I was able to spin around and get 5 different people that were in and not in my life and get them to reference this experience. And so when I speak with Kalo Hill, he wants to bring this technology to the United Nations, and he says there's a chip and that he wants to link up with the Pleiadians and bring to fruition information, knowledge, technology so that we can move past some of these hurdles that we've had. And so now if we look back throughout history and we look at Groom Lake, Area 51, we've got a building that was 7 stories deep that there's now evidence coming out that the government complex, military industrial complex went in and had a confrontation with a species. And so in my comprehension, I'm starting to recognize that we're all one species, just kind of along a different path of where we divinated or how far we've evolved. And so, when I first started looking into DNA and stuff, we were 2-strand DNA. Well, now we're proving 3- and 4-strand DNA, and I comprehend how we can make a 12-strand DNA template or 24 or 48. And so I believe for Kalo to be kind of expressing some information that's in the collective consciousness that's coming forward that would be connecting us with other species that have integrated. And so what I'm beginning to comprehend, but I don't have definitive facts on, is that this is basically a spaceship Earth, and that as we begin to comprehend the new sphere and our technological capabilities, because we've come to a point of singularity where technology is transcended biology and we can organize it like another organ and orchestrate our reality, that our free will is allowing us to play on a multiverse or an intergalactic level where we become a type 2, type 3 civilization that can modify and travel to these other regions of existence. And so I'm in a situation of where I'm being asked to bring this gentleman to the United Nations and birth this technology and the potential of Pleiadian species integration. And so I'd never really believed much in psychics or channels or whatever it be, or mediums, just because it really wasn't in my world, although I'd met Bashar a while back at a gathering called Lightning in a Bottle. And so I stumbled into you guys here recently and been researching online, and so I thought I'd bring this to the table and get a documented recording of this, and then throw this into the collective consciousness and see what comes back on a feedback loop.
That's a beautiful. Yeah, that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Brother, is there any part of that you care to cover, and then I'll cover whatever you don't, brother?
Yeah, well, it's a lot of information there. Phoenix, thank you so much for the call. I know that you mentioned bringing this information to the UN. Have you had any response from them in terms of their awareness to this type of information?
So I've just been birthed with this information recently, and so I've been looking out to different ways. And so I've contacted his brother, who's got a defense case going against the FBI, and he's here. Leonard Peltier is the case. And so I've contacted Kayla Hill's family, and they're prepared to have him stay here, and I'm getting together the finances so I can relocate him. But as far as the contacts into the United Nations, I'm a little bit of the black sheep of the family, and I haven't totally figured out how I want to approach it, although I have family in politics. And, you know, I'd rather start new channels of communication than depend on family. And so I've recently been in contact with the Department of Defense and other groups online. And so, I mean, I totally recognize that our communications and what state of surveillance they're under, and so this information is public domain and knowledge, and nobody's knocking on my door. And so I need to exhaust some more efforts to bring this to light, but before I exhausted more efforts, I kind of want to do more research, and so this is what gets me to here.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Yeah, it's a lot of what you mentioned is information that, like you said, is out there, and it's public information, and it's something that we all contemplate at from one time to another, and like you said, it's bringing everything to a forefront. I think it's. I know when I was at a stage where I was looking at all of this information and trying to make a big picture out of it, it really starts making sense. But then you go to another point where it's more of a collective issue, and so I do appreciate that information. It is valid, and I hope this your input here into the show creates, you know, the avenues that you need to create, because it is information, and it is out there, and we have to accept that.
Well, absolutely, and that's the point I wanted to get to too, Phoenix, is that all this information is beautiful. The concepts of free energy and or technology to connect with these races is definitely available now, so more than any. And we understand that the powers that be kind of try to stifle that out. The one thing that my channel always talks about is trying to let go of the fears that we have as collective consciousness to remove the actual kickback from that, or the feedback from that. We all understand the law of attraction to be what you put in is what you get back out. And if we focus on this type of material with any sort of fear or worry, that usually brings that right back to us. It gives us a reason to fear, a reason to worry. So the only thing I would suggest by going through this is try to talk to your friend. Obviously, be careful, be safe, do what you think is right, but following your heart is the biggest part. If this man has what he claims to have, if you are in contact with him and other family members, the best route is doing just what you did, going public with that, putting it on a place where it can't be shut down. This is a public domain, public place to speak, so that's a beautiful thing that you did. But just remember, anticipation of the worst will always bring you the worst. So just continuously know that. Okay. Was what I was saying being heard?
Are you there, brother?
Yeah. Are you there?
Yeah, I was. It went on hold for some reason.
Okay. Did you hear anything that I was talking about?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Basically, what I was saying is that this collective consciousness knows what's going on. This type of information, this type of situation is inevitable for our race. We have to remind ourselves how reality is built. Any kind of fear that we have about the harm of your friend, the harm of any person, individual, that's going to bring more to that. We obviously know that there are entities out there who try to suppress the growth of the overall, but that's only done because our belief systems allow that, because we believe that we have to have a bad guy and a good guy. The truth of the matter is that we truly go in and we truly create our own reality from day to day. So if we go in with our beliefs knowing that this is a valid thing, that this energy and information will be made public, and that anyone who does that won't be hurt, won't be harmed, just knowing that and making sure that the person who's involved with technology knows that, that's our number one step. That's the way to create a reality where that happens, because this is inevitable. This technology will come to the forefront, whether it's through your friend who you're talking about now, whether it's through someone else. This technology will be allowed for us to connect out to our star family, to the people or to the entities who live outside of the atmosphere of Earth. We will connect. It will happen. Any type of worries or fears, anything of that nature will definitely be an issue. And obviously, sometimes people don't like people talking about these things, but it's very important to talk about them because it is something that our collective consciousness needs. But the concept and the whole idea is to not focus on it with fear, to not focus on being suppressed, because by thinking and focusing on the ideas of us being suppressed, that's what gives us more suppression. So that would be my advice to you, Phoenix, is go into this understanding how quantum physics works, understanding how your mind creates that reality, and understanding that your beliefs also do that. So just make sure you remember that you go into this thing with no fear, no doubt, no worries, and know that this technology will be received well. And I want to thank you too, Phoenix, for calling in and putting that out there on a public forum. It allows that information to get out there and for people to know that this technology is right around the corner. It's here, but it just needs to be introduced. All right, Phoenix. Thanks again, bud. Are you there? Oh, hold on. I just muted you. Go ahead.
I don't think you can hear me, can you?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're good.
Oh, sweet. Sorry, I called back in. I wasn't sure if I got disconnected.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I'm really grateful for this to be birthed out there. And, you know, I was in a state of fear for a couple of years, just youth and rambunctious and not comprehending the systems and whatnot. But at this point in time, I'm, I can walk up to D.C. with a smile on my face and nobody behind my back and hold my conversation. And I'm confident in what I'm doing and where I'm headed, and I don't have much fear in regards to him. I want to comprehend what I'm doing before I go and do it. And so having evidence, having proof, having dialogue, having, a chip in my hand or having blueprints of a chip or comprehending how a species could stand before me is important to me, because I don't like to just go into things without understanding the science of it.
Well, yeah, sure.
That's a good point, Phoenix. It's good to research this information, and like I said, it's like Rob mentioned, a lot of this information was out there initially caused more of a fear, and what we've later found out that we know that it exists, but not to let that fear stand in the way of the higher reality of what's going on. You don't want to create those type of fearful emotions, so you create a reality that will bring that back to you, is what we're saying. We know this through the laws of reality. So if that helps at all, I think that'll help you very much into what you're doing. You stated that correctly, that you're kind of fact gathering now, and that's great. And again, you'll move from this position that you're in to one of more of an individual consciousness of knowing how everything works, and that this type of information is not something that you need to burden yourself with. You don't have to carry the brunt of this type of information on you. So I would suggest just learn about it, digest that information, and then just kind of understand, and then you'll move to another state of awareness where it's more of a collective issue that is going to happen anyways, regardless. But again, your information is very valid, and your point is very well taken. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, and I'd like to make this last suggestion too. I can feel your excitement about this free energy or the technology to connect to Pleiadian Collective. That's one of the goals that all of us here in the show have, is to be able to connect out to our star family without needing to do that in a psychic way, to be able to do that with technology-based and in a psychic way. Some of us have that capability to do it with a psychic and channel connection. Some of us have to do it more through other means, things like that. So if this is your highest excitement to make this out there for everyone, what I would suggest you do is go with your friend who has this technology or who has this blueprints to this technology. Speak to them, explain the definite importance of relaxing on the idea of who is out to suppress them, who's out to hurt, who's out to stifle them, and remind yourselves that you guys are creating this reality. And as long as you guys know that you'll be okay, know that you'll be safe, and know that this information that you have will be public and will be safe and will be for everyone to have, that would be my suggestion. Close your eyes, meditate together, put yourself in a super relaxed state, and just reiterating that specific consciousness or the specific intent that this information will be given to all, connection to Star Family, connection to these Pleiadians to help us through humanity will be connected and will be made. Those type of intents carry so much power. And literally anyone who would mean to stifle you, anyone who would mean to shut you up or to keep the information out has no power when you're connected to the non-fear aspects and the love aspects of yourself. So that would be our suggestion. Go ahead through and support your friend and support him in knowing that there's no reason to be fearful of having this knowledge in his hands, that understanding of that is more powerful than anything. And we thank you very much, Phoenix. We'll try to get back to you on the other end of the call. We have a couple more callers that have been waiting for a little bit. So if you want to stay on the line, please do. We're also having technical difficulties here through the show today. We've had a couple slip-ups on the technology thing as it is. So what we'll do is we'll take our next caller at the 816 area code. Who do we have with us this evening? 816 area code. Who do we have with us this evening? All right, the 816 area code. We'll put you on pause. We'll go to the next one. The next one would be the 352 area code, and I would imagine that would be Sister Savita, correct?
Yes, it's me.
Oh, how are you doing, sister?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Hi, Savita.
I'm doing so much better. Hi. How are you, George?
I'm doing great, thank you.
It's good to hear a smile in your voice and a smile in your soul. Oh, what did you want to talk with us about today, sister?
Actually, I just called in today to listen to the show. I don't want to talk anything, but since you took my call, so let's discuss something.
That's how it works. If you're meant to talk, it'll bring you in.
I know. Today, I had no question. I just kind of, dialed the number and I wanted to listen to the show. And anyway, I'm here. Okay. So what I'm feeling nowadays is definitely this is year of unfoldment. I am changing in me and in my relationships. In my very close relationships, it's like, it's like bitter truth, but at the same time, it's very peaceful. It's like you are watching your own drama of the life. That's for me, and it's like I'm getting to know things which I never imagined. I don't know how to put all these things in words, but definitely it's a huge change. I'm seeing all around myself. People are becoming more open, in the sense, more open to their own selves. I am definitely observing new changing of the beliefs, in the sense that redefining of the relationships and redefining of our own beliefs. Yes. So that's my observation. I don't know what's going on in other people's life.
Savita, what are you feeling in your heart most of all out of this new experience that you've had?
In my heart, that's what I'm saying. In my heart, for example, a personal thing happened, just recently. And between me and my brother, and it was like, you have to kind of stand and think, and you have to choose, and you have to perceive that what is the most important what is the priority, what is the what should I keep on the top level, should I keep, I could clearly see that, yes, it's a little bit ego hurt, but is that what love means, So it's I think I don't know about others, but it's like, because of all those incidents and because all those happening in the life, I think I'm kind of falling more into love with myself. It means that the everything whatever happening in the life is making me see myself, that my decisions, like what I choose, is more and more and more of love.
Right. So
this is hard. Means it's totally. I'm totally vibrating in my heart, and it is beautiful. You know what I used to read all the time? When you vibrate in your heart, then there is no question. Period.
Right. You're absolutely right. And the reason why I asked you was because I was going to ask you what this particular situation was mirroring back to you about yourself.
About myself, that when you say that you love unconditionally, and then something happens, and then you see yourself that, oh, is my love changed? If I used to say that it is unconditional love, was it is unconditional love? So that was a question for me to myself, that was it unconditional love? And
yes.
then I could proudly say that, yes, it was unconditional love. No matter what happens, no matter what life presents to you, if I can still vibrate in that same love, then I feel the source in me. So when I feel source in me, I fall into more love for myself, for that source which is shining in me.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. Yes, that you're absolutely right, and that's beautiful the way you just laid that out for us all. Thank you so much, Savita.
Yeah, thank you, sister, because it's a very difficult thing to deal with people that we love, because sometimes there are so many character flaws with people. I know myself personally am very difficult in life, living on a schedule. I'm very moment to moment, and I let things pass me by sometimes so unintentionally, never intending to hurt one's feelings, never intending to upset anyone. Sometimes things get in the way, and I just live on that moment. And it's such a joy for me to live in that moment, but for others, it's such a pain in the butt. I just told a guy who's been trying to get me on his radio show for 3 months that everyone hates that.
That's my way of thinking. I wanna add my thinking, a little bit thinking. I mean, I respect the way you think, but in everything, I kind of, it's like, I kind of started seeing. I kind of started, in my day-to-day life, in my work situations, everywhere. Like, let me repeat what you said just now. The things are difficult. Life is difficult. Things are so. No, honey, there is nothing difficult. When you perceive things difficult, then they are difficult. It's not difficult at all. I think we need to take life as it is comes. There's nothing difficult. Just we need to kind of keep moving, free flowing. When we concentrate, or when we put our energy in those hardships, then hardship becomes hardship. There's no hardship.
Yeah,
it's just life. It's life. So when we perceive it as, oh my God, this is so difficult, oh, situations are difficult, let me give the example. Let me give example of my work today. The floor I work in, it's a whole new floor. Oh my God, it is a total mess. Every single person who come there to work, they are so overwhelmed. Everybody complaining, every single person. And I'm the only person who's just smiling and laughing. So one doctor comes to me and he said, how are you? I said, oh, I'm so great. How can you say that when it is total mess around me? So it's like I'm not saying that, oh my God, I'm so great. No, I'm just saying that, like a few days ago, I was also like, I was overwhelmed. I was saying the same thing. Then I kind of noticed this thing, when I am perceiving it is difficult, then it is difficult. I just need to flow. I just need to move on. Difficult is difficult when you see it is difficult.
Yes.
Difficulties in life are just nothing. Is just a little bit more tougher test in the life to show us where we are standing.
Right.
You know
That's
what I mean?
Great point.
So
that's a great point.
When we focus our whole attention and direction changes. Life is difficult when we say it is difficult, when we perceive it as difficult. It's like, comparing above and lower. When you compare yourself from homeless, then you think, oh my God, my life is so much better. If you compare your life to a millionaire, then oh my God, my life is so hard. Oh my God, I work 108 hours, in 2 weeks, right? So this is how you focus your whole attention. This is how what do you want to perceive? That's what you perceive. So just changing a little bit, way of seeing and way of taking life. Life is just a drama. We are just playing a part. Things are happening in the life. Things are happening in the life because you know why? Because we are brave. We chose all that. We chose those so-called difficult things because we are taking a harder test. So it's pat on our back that we are taking. We took the challenge. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. It's not difficult. Oh my God, we are so brave to take that challenge. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Absolutely, I do. And that's the thing, too, that most of us forget is it's all about perception. Even through hardships, all we have to do is focus on ourselves and say, I'm so tired of feeling sorry for myself. And then we're instantly able to shift into experience in a different reality. the belief systems that we have is what usually kills us in the belief systems that this has to be hard, and none of us are immune to that. I've told a million people it's so easy to change a belief system in your perception, but when I'm in my time of hardship, I know that mentally, I know that logically, my heart even knows it, but to implement that in the daily lives, what can be difficult because we believe it has to be difficult, and I think that's the biggest key is just understanding that free-flowedness. And when I was talking about earlier about the free type of lifestyle, about that energy that goes through, that was kind of the point I was trying to get at, was that for other people it's such a horrible thing to have to deal with me being so in the wind and so free and not having any specific schedule. Sometimes literally it kills the closest people to me. They're just like, oh my God, will you ever settle for one thing or the other? Just, be here at this time or do this at this time. And it really does. But for me, there's such that freedom in there. And that's all a different perception. It's all different beliefs. Our world has based our beliefs on schedules, time, things like that. I break free of that, and it's an inconvenience for so many people because it's bothersome and it tends. But for my own self, my belief about being free is actually causing stagnation or difficulty with others because it's the difference of belief systems without the ability to accept each other's views. And that's the problem. If I have a friend who has a rough time with me doing that, and I have a rough time because they're such a scheduled person, then those two differences is what usually cause the issues in there. It's the letting go of that, accepting and dropping the judgment of both of those things, and acceptance. And like you said it, sister, you come to this confrontation with this, with your brother, with this close person, and you really were upset. But when you remembered what unconditional love was, it made everything so much easier. And I want to thank you for pointing that out to everybody.
I think we all are together here, and we are saying all these things. It's a beautiful thing. It's just, you know what? It's like, holding each other's hand and borrowing each other's experience to get better. That's the whole thing. And you know what? I find life is so beautiful. It's just you got to. It's just being more conscious, being more aware, being more into the moment. You see, actually, you have to be more observant of yourself. Hey, what I'm doing, am I focusing my thing? Is that what I want? What I want to laugh all the time. And that's why somebody asked me, what drugs you take? I know. She said, Samira, what drugs you take? I said, it's secret,
Yeah. That's our true nature is happiness and joy. And when we're out of that, then you're out of alignment. So I think that's
because, with my own life experience, I find it is a choice. Everything is a choice.
It is a choice, yes.
Everything is a choice. You either choose to complain or either choose to take it in a positive way. It becomes your lifestyle. What I am today, oh my God, it took me so much of time to get there. And but I know I have a long way to go. And there's so many other people probably, so many other people who are listening. Maybe, everybody, we all are everybody in the same boat, Life presents with the problems, and the problems have different faces. We all wear masks. We all do jobs. We all pretend, to be different. But the main thing is that, just listen to your heart and choose what you actually want in the life and what you want in your life. Then you be what you want in your life. Simple. It's simple. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know if you guys understanding?
Oh, I agree with you 100%.
No,
it is literally that simple.
Yeah, it is. It is. No, everything you're saying, Savita, is very truthful, and you're just putting it out there for all of us to hear. It's just another affirmation on how powerful we are as creators, and it is that simple to change your way, your emotions, and the way you feel about any particular situation. I know what I do is I step back from anything that I perceive as being a distraction or something that might be going in a negative direction. I pull myself back in that moment and choose, because that's where we can choose, is when we can step back and get from that neutral perspective. So thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Oh, everyone's going through what you're going through too, sister. We really appreciate the call like we do every week. I was sitting talking for 2 minutes with the mute button on. Sorry about that. But we really appreciate that, sister. We appreciate your call every week. And you're right. Everyone's going through the same thing, and your insights and your experience are so wonderful. Thank you for sharing that with us this week, sister. We love calls.
Do you have more callers? If you have more callers, then take your call. Otherwise,
Yeah,
I can talk and talk. Hold your show.
Yeah, we do have a few more callers, sister, and we'll get to those, but we'll put you on pause, and we'll get back to you when the other thing loops around. We love you very much, sister, and thanks again for the call. Like always, you get great insight, and we love to hear your experiences.
Bye, Savita.
Bye, sister.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, we're going to the next caller now. It's the 903 area code. Who do we have with us this evening?
Hey, this is Taylor. How are you guys?
Hey, Taylor.
Hey, Taylor. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Oh,
I love you guys' show.
You.
I listen to it every week.
Oh, thank you, Taylor.
Yeah, thank you. And it's great to catch up with you too, Taylor. Obviously, this call has been, or this show has been pretty exciting today. What kind of things did you want to share with us this week, Taylor?
I just wanted to share a couple things. The first thing I wanted to share was I saw this quote from somewhere, and I couldn't remember. I didn't know if it was by anybody, but I wanted to share it with you guys. It said, "The more you share, the more you have," and I really resonated with it. I know you guys use that word a lot, and I just love that word so much, resonate, because it's because when you resonate, to me it means like you got to strike like a bell, so like in order to ring out your tone or your sound or whatever you're giving off. And I thought that quote resonated with the word resonate. The more you share, the more you have. And it's so good to share that with other people. I mean, you can get what you want just by, just the thought of it, And
that is very profound, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. And the thing is that ever since I've been listening to this channelings, the first channeling I heard was from Bashar, and it's like no matter how many words you can use to describe whatever you're trying to get across. I mean, it's a lot about how you say it, but it's a lot. I mean, and the words that you use, but mostly it's the connection the connection between you striking the chords inside you, and it's like you're playing. It's like when you're living your life, you're like playing an instrument, and everyone around you is like part of like some kind of orchestra, and you're like making this beautiful song that goes on and on. It just keeps changing. It gets better. It gets slower. It gets faster. It gets slower. I just love. It's like you're listening to it, and you just don't want to stop listening to it. And it's just, I love it.
As profound as your words are, Taylor, the excitement and the love and the joy that you have in sharing it is almost twice as valuable as the words itself, because I can feel that love and excitement in you so much.
Yeah, it's just, man, I'm just feeling the love, I guess. I love it.
That's great.
Well, that's a beautiful thing to have. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've just been feeling that a lot lately. I kind of want to say it started when I can almost trace it back to the point of where all this came out of me, just all that spiel I had, where it all really just started when I don't know where it started, because there is no start, I guess you could say, but I feel like it started when I started listening to that channeling, and I only started listening. I remember you talking about on a show about tracing back your thoughts and why things happen, and this happened because of that happened.
Yeah.
And I just think it's happened because exploring my consciousness, and I just remember I don't do it anymore, but smoking cannabis, I tried that one time, and it's something I didn't even really want to do. But my friends was like, "Hey, you should try it." We all feel kind of good, and I know you can always feel like that anytime you want now, so that's why I don't even do it anymore. Like, I can, if I wanted to feel that way, I guess you can feel it any way you want at any time. And I really think, I guess I'm really thankful for my friends giving me that experience, because it's what's led me here. And I guess I got to thank myself too for going with them on that. It's kind of like we're playing chords back and forth to each other, and now here I am talking to you guys about what's been happening, and I just wanted to share that with you guys.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much, Taylor. That, like you said, that experience with the cannabis, and you remember that experience, and you can choose to be at that point anytime you want, with or without it. So that really makes sense. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Taylor, for that. And I know, too, that Treb's talked to people who are very into the entheogen. They were very into that psychedelic, hallucinogenic experience, too. And what I told them from my own heart, and Treb ended up using this as a reference for other people. He quoted me, and I felt so privileged that he would quote something that came from my human brain to their ear, and I thought I was really special at the time when I first started connecting to him. But what he told people is, in meditative state, you can reach that peak of consciousness whenever you want. You can reach the same exact etherical state, that same extended consciousness connecting to other entities, feeling that astral realm state through meditation. So if you're able to do that through meditation, then literally you have availability and means to do it anytime that you want without having to ingest anything that could be dangerous for your body. And I know people, there's two schools of thought on that some of the entheogens that are natural are harmful. Some say that it's not harmful. I don't care to even weigh in on that. My whole point is that instead of using that permission slip as a drug, use it as an actual experience. Use it as a meditative experience. And if you do use it as a drug, that's perfectly fine too. A lot of people find great use in entheogens. They find great use in those hallucinogenics to find their altered states of consciousness. But I think you're exactly right, brother. I think you're exactly right also, Taylor, that you can get there whenever you want by your own self. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing to know, isn't it?
Oh, yes, of course, yeah. Very beautiful. I've had quite a few different experiences that have happened to me. when I just, especially when I feel at my lowest, where I'm just like, I wish I just want to go to sleep, and I just want to go home and not thinking about things and just lay down and rest. At those times, I just think, the only way for me to feel this is I've had to feel the exact opposite, and then I just dive in to that feeling of the exact what I want at that time. So, yeah, you guys are very right about reaching that state. If anything that's ever happened to you before, you can always bring it to the present, and from then on, it's like you could almost say it's like you're playing a chorus. It's like you're remembering a chorus in your song, and you're just playing that song. You're playing that part of the song again. And the best part about that is that you can change that chorus, and so you can manipulate it and make it sound even better than last time, and change it and add your own melody to it, however you want. Make it resonate with others around you and with yourself. Just think it's very beautiful. Yes. I want to add one more question.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Taylor. I just wanted to tell you first that's a very beautiful thought.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And go ahead and with your next question, brother.
Yeah, I was wondering, I know you guys listen to a lot of channelings and things like that, and I was wondering, besides Treb, who do you do individually? I mean, you guys might both like the same other besides Treb, but other than Treb, who do you guys enjoy listening to the most?
Oh, absolutely. That's a very fair question, very great one. And thank you for that, Taylor. Go ahead, brother, if you'd like to address that one first, unless you'd like me to.
Well, I don't know. For me, I like the Pleiadian messages because that's where a lot of my energy is. Really, all the channelers, they're all. I mean, if you listen to them all, you'll notice the same kind of information in a loving manner, and it's all positive, and it's all very enlightening. So it's really what resonates to you, and that resonance is really finding the truth in your heart. When you feel that, wow, that really hit home, that resonance is just, your truth and that message meeting together in your heart. And that's really what makes these messages so beautiful to me. And but really all of the channeling, how could you even it's so hard to say which one's better. It's just how they touch your heart, I think is really the best way to explain it.
Oh, absolutely, brother. And for me personally, there's several layers of channeling and channelers and channeled material. The very lowest layer are things that don't resonate. The third layer are ones that resonate to a degree, very simplistic. And then there's that second level, things that resonate very, very highly. For me, Daniel Scranton, everyone who we've had on the show, Daniel Scranton, Brad Johnson, Wendy Kennedy, Nora Harold, the list goes on, Bashar, Sean Swanson, Daryl Anka, even Abraham Hicks. Those are all second-tier channelers for me, the things that resonate with my heart and mind. But there's always one that goes above every other channeling that I've connected to, and it's not because it's better, but because for me, like George was saying, personally resonates more with me, and that would be the Seth material. For me, the Seth material is second to none. It has a very unique perspective, a very unique way that it was channeled through, and Seth was the very first channeling I found. In fact, Treb led me to the Seth material so that I could talk to him and understand and know that what he was saying was truthful. It's when I very, very first met him. I still had tons of ego defenses. I was taught all the way through my young adult life not to trust people, not to trust anything. And then through my circumstances at the Spiritualism Church, was taught not to trust certain entities that would come through. As a belief system of that collective church, that's what I adopted. So I tested Treb. I seen what resonated with me. How can you tell me that you're telling the truth? He led me to a video, indirectly led me to a video that led me to a lot of UFO information, and then it came to the Seth material. And they mentioned 2 channelings in that specific video. The first one was Law of One, also very great, second tier channeling. But the Seth Speaks, or Seth material, I believe they said it was Seth Speaks, the eternal validity of the soul. I went and I checked it instantly. I looked at it, I listened, I found an excerpt, a 2-hour excerpt of parts of the book. I listened to it, and my whole heart instantly knew that that was the truth, that everything that Treb told me was accurate, and this was saying the same exact thing in a different way. But all channelings say the same exact thing in a different way, right, unless they're on that tier 3 or 4 channelings, which isn't resonant, which doesn't connect to the heart. So literally, all of these channelings are the same. It's just a personal perspective. And for me, one that stimulates the heart as well as the mind, Seth is on that top tier. And all of the good friends of the Rob and George show, as well as all the extra ones that I mentioned, those would be my favorite every day to listen to. If I listen to channeling, it's not as often as I used to, but when I do listen to channeling, all those tier 2 people are who I listen to the most. Seth I'm very well acquainted with, but even that, every time I listen to Seth, I hear something new. And that was a very, very valid question, a very great question. So thank you very much, Taylor. We appreciate having you on the show, brother. The insights that you gave were very great, and your excitement is the best thing all night. I love that excitement in your laugh and in your voice.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. I went from Bashar to Seth, had a weird OBE experience with reading when I was reading the Seth material, and after Seth I went to Treb, and from Treb to lots of other different ones, and so far what resonates with me almost in instant fashion is Cryon. Every time I hear Lee Carroll's voice,
that's another good one.
Feel the light. I feel the love almost instantly. It's really beautiful.
Oh, absolutely. Same with me. Another great channel, second tier channel that I love. And by first and second tier, I don't mean the difference. I just mean, that the Seth thing resonates with me so much more. Yeah. Right. Absolutely, brother. Well, we appreciate the call more than you know. And I want to tell you, too, Taylor, please contact me again. We've had a hard time running into each other. But after the show, contact me, and we'll get a time scheduled down for you, brother.
Yes, definitely. Love you guys.
We love you, brother.
Thanks
for the call.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, we do have another caller that we can take who's been on hold for quite some time, the 812 area code. Who do we have with us this evening? 812 area code? Are you there?
Me?
Yeah, that would be you.
I didn't realize that I was... Oh, I'm I'm good. I was just listening. I didn't realize that I was going to have a chance to talk. This is my first time participating with any blog talk, so...
Well, that's a very great experience. I apologize if it's sudden. Blog Talk Radio does have a defect where it sometimes throws regular callers who don't request to be in the queue into the queue. If you'd like to talk to us this evening, that's great, and if not, I can understand that. Definitely a surprise attack.
I think maybe it was a universal kind of throw-in, what's meant to be will be. So I was actually thinking, I don't know. I've listened to 2 other callers, and thoughts definitely create reality. I do believe that. I've thought of myself as a spiritual person for years now, and it just seems like the last year I've lost touch with some of it. It's kind of sad. I'm kind of sad. Not to be the Debbie Downer of the group. The last guy was so upbeat. But, I've run into some snags, and I know how you think about the situation. Like I heard the girl before him. She was like, "Oh, it's really simple. You just think great." It's like, the theological part of it, it's very simple. It is, but practice, and I think even one of you guys even said that when you're in the moment, it's difficult sometimes to really keep that positive thought, to not allow the negative pressure to get you down or to disrupt your harmony. I don't know. Do you have any tips on how to clear that up? How to, I don't know, clear out your spiritual closet, kind of?
Well, I think what, first of all, thank you so much for calling in. I think what you're experiencing is what we all go through. So let me first clarify that. I think what you're going through is kind of the roller coaster of emotions in this whole spiritual type of scenario. And I think embracing what you're feeling, you already have the self-awareness to notice the difference between where you were before and what you're feeling now. So we all have these highs and lows that we go through spiritually. And I think that by embracing what you're feeling right now and recognizing for what it is, it's only at that point where you can step back and say, do I really want to feel this way? I know it's there. You're actualizing the feeling, and you're embracing it and you're holding it. And I think when you're at that point is when you can try to make sense of what that experience is showing you. And when you do that, then you can step back and say, okay, I'm feeling this. Why am I feeling it? And just kind of do a little self-analyzing. And because you already have the self-awareness that you're feeling this way. So if you feel what you're feeling, then you'll have a better awareness of where you want to shift that feeling to a better state of being, if that makes sense.
Hello?
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Did what George was saying to you kind of make sense to you?
Absolutely. Kind of just figure out why I'm feeling this and what I can take from it. And then I need to let it go, let some go. I need to figure out what I want to learn, what I need to learn, and then let it go. The letting go is very hard, too.
It is. But see, the importance of embracing it first is if you don't embrace it and look at it and see what it's showing you, if you let it go before it's time, let's say, then you won't learn from that. So when you want to let it go, you want it to let it go, fully and completely let it go, so it doesn't revolve back around and you experience that experience again. So by embracing that, it's like, okay, what is this showing me about myself? And what do I need to let go of? And then you could let go. We're all going through this purging time in this period of ascension. So it's all a balancing act. We're all purging this negative energy and this male and female energy that we're going through. So we're all going through what you're experiencing right now. And by you calling in and expressing that, it's beautiful because we've all been there. So this is not exclusive to just you. We're all going through different types of the same thing. And so it's very easy to understand what you're feeling right now. But by embracing those feelings and understand what they're showing you about yourself, it's really beautiful. It's doing you a favor. So always look at it in a positive way and not a negative way, because it's really a beautiful thing that it's showing you, so you can release all of this energy and shift to that state of being that you really want to be.
Absolutely, brother. And Treb always describes emotions, negative emotions as red flags, positive emotions as affirmations. And what that means is, in a positive emotion, love, happiness, excitement, those are all showing us that our soul is aligned with our fractal self, our personality self. That means the actions that we are doing. That means the thoughts we are having. That means the belief systems that we have are all perfectly aligned with what our soul knows to be the truth. When we're having negative experiences, sadness, anger, frustration, jealousy, the whole gambit of those negative ones we don't like too much, that is a red flag indicator that our soul fractal is not aligned with our higher self. And these non-alignments, if you will, are truly giving us and manifesting these emotions. So what do we do then? Then we have to use that awareness that George was talking about. We have to use that moment-to-moment awareness of our thoughts. We have to have the moment-to-moment awareness of our actions, and we have to have the moment-to-moment apprehension of what our belief systems are. And through that moment-to-moment awareness of all three of those, we can always find the root problem. So let's use an example. Let's say I'm having a bad day today because my coworker is talking badly about me. Okay, well, most people will say, well, someone's talking bad about you. Of course you're going to have a bad day. But that's not the truth. We know that our soul reflects experiences through other people. So what does that tell you? It means that you've caused that situation to happen via reflection. During that reflection, we have to see what is causing this. My thoughts about this person being a bad person shows me that they're a bad person. My beliefs that I can't have fun at work, that this person is rude and arrogant, that belief is causing that to exist. My actions of trying to separate myself from them, trying not to be in their vicinity, that's causing this action. So now we have a whole new founded awareness of what the true reflection is. Why are we having this bad experience? Because we're bringing it to ourselves. And I know me and you, brother, have talked about this a billion times. Understanding that every bad thing we go through is brought on by ourselves unintentionally, it's a very big responsibility.
Absolutely, brother. I mean, but you know, again, when you get above the clouds into the light again, into the sunshine, you see why you had to go through this. That's why it's so important to be gentle with yourself and to be gentle with others. You know, this unity consciousness that we all talk about. We're showing each other about ourselves. We're all mirrors with each other. So it's very important to be, first of all, gentle with yourselves. I mean, your true nature is love. And when we get out of that alignment with our true nature is when we start experiencing these perceived negative incidents in our lives. So it's really a beautiful thing when you get past it, or even as you're going through it, to understand this on a basic level. And once you start creating these new belief systems with that new found foundation, that's when you start creating the reality that you want. And as Savita was saying, it's all a choice. Then you can choose. You know, do I want to feel this way anymore? No, I want to feel a different way. And you're able to shift your consciousness to a different reality, because there's an infinite amount of realities that you can shift to. That's how powerful you are. But it's just letting yourself be the God that you are. You know, you're so powerful. All of us are so powerful. We just have to believe we are.
Absolutely, brother. And the one point I'll also add to that is through that newfound reflection of awareness that we have, that newfound sense of awareness, that moment to moment, literally being able to see our thoughts, our beliefs, and our actions reflecting these negative things in our life. Once we have that down pat and we practice that every day, being very aware, then we see a gift being given. Then we see a reality becoming positive instead of negative. Then we will be able to truly see how your positive thoughts, your positive beliefs, and your positive actions in a real time influence your reality around you in a good way. And it's very important to have that sense of awareness and to practice it every day. To practice, what am I thinking? What am I doing? What am I feeling? What am I believing? And literally locking into those. And when we see a negative belief or a negative thought or a negative action come to the surface, we stop it right there, reflect, remind ourselves of the true nature of reality, and then we can change it. And that's very important, I think.
Absolutely right. It's actually a worker. The thing is, right now I'm going through massage therapy.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, yes, it's fun. His scenario hit the nail on the head with the coworker and having the coworker talking about. The thing is I have I'm going to school for massage therapy, and the instructor and I are butting heads. It's kind of like, I don't know, she's really short with me. She's talked about me to other people. And I don't know why. I don't know what I have done to bring this on. Of course, then again, once the ball started rolling, then my thoughts, okay, well, she just doesn't like me, and it's just not going to change. And, well, I don't like her either, and she's really, and so I get caught up in these thoughts. Even when she's talking, sometimes it's just like, are you kidding me? And I need to stop it. And you're right, I need to go to that true self of the, love. I gotta stay away from those negative thoughts, and then maybe she'll feel that too. See, the thing is with the massage therapy program that I'm in, it's you feel a lot by touch, and not just touch. We've learned a lot about energy. I mean, just being in the vicinity of someone, you are sharing your energy, and it's bouncing around. It really. And you can feed into people, and people can feed off of you. It's quite amazing how we are. Realization. We believe that the energy in our thoughts can actually make a difference with others and with ourselves. And I have learned a lot of great things from this woman, but at the same time, it's been very difficult. It's been really hard. But I've got to change my thoughts on it, because otherwise it's going to just keep being difficult. I got to rein in those thoughts and calm myself whenever I'm around it. Otherwise, I don't know, I feel it's going to be like a sabotage. I don't want to self-sabotage the situation, because it's almost like a power struggle too. But the thing is, if she really does have the power. I mean, you know what I mean? She's the authority figure. So if I were to, I've had thoughts of just letting her have it. Stop it. Stop talking to me that way. Stop. And then I thought to myself, don't do that, because if I do, then I will come off as the aggressor, and then, I could ruin a wonderful opportunity. I've only got a semester left. I got to keep focused. I got to, and then if I turn to that love state of mind, maybe then she'll feel that too. So that goes back to the sharing of the energies. If I go to the state of loving, then maybe, and probably, she will feel that also, and then reciprocate and mirror that. As long as we are both, and I feel that we are both, in this constant state of, well, she doesn't like me. She's going to, you know what I mean? That it's going to, is not going to be good. It's not good. It's not good for either of us. So I got to get back to that that loving mindset, and then that'll reflect in reality.
That's
absolutely.
Yeah, that's such an interesting
Hello.
From your heart and your mind. It's you're.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up.
Go ahead and reiterate that one more time, brother, because you were breaking up. She couldn't hear what you said.
I didn't hear that.
It was when I was listening to that, it was almost like you were talking to the couple inside yourself. You were talking to yourself there, and that's what I'm saying. You have to love the duality in yourself, because that's the reflection that that the energy that you're expressing with this other person. You were actually having a conversation with yourself right there, and it was so beautiful. And if you listen back to this in your archive, your thoughts for this other person is exactly what you have to listen to for yourself. It's so beautiful. I mean,
absolutely, brother. Absolutely. That's the exact reflection we always get, and it's very difficult to hear that at first sometimes. And then to kind of see that dynamic. But because you struggle with her inside, you will always manifest that struggle with her outside. That's the way it works. We always start our reality inside, and it goes to outside. This is a lovely, lovely conversation and call, but unfortunately we only have 2 minutes left of airtime. So we want to thank you so much for being a caller.
Yes, thank you so much.
If you'd like to pick this up next week, next week we have a guest, but any other week after, we'd love to have you back on. Thank you again so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Have a good night. Thank you.
All right. And you do too. Brother, is there anything you want to say before I go through the last announcements?
No, just thanks again for all the callers. I mean, it was just another enlightening experience for all of us involved here. I mean, it's such a beautiful way to express this, and we'll have to talk further about it. But go ahead, brother, with those announcements, because we are short.
All right. Well, basically what I want to tell everyone, same thing. The callers are always great. You can always contact us. We're here every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, at 6 p.m. Pacific time. You can call us in at area code 347-308-8788. You can contact us on Facebook, the Rob and George Enlightenment Evolution Hour page, or Friends of Rob and George Show. Contact us. Let us know if you feel like helping the financial aspect of the show to perpetuate the ongoing of it for all collective consciousness. You can do that in many ways, which is already described and you can see on the sheet. Please come with us next week, as Daniel Scranton will be our special guest. And every week after, we will always have something special planned out for you guys. We love you guys so much. You guys are a huge part of our life. This is why we do this, to share this energy and information with you guys. We love you guys very much. And this is the Rob and George Enlightenment Evolution Hour. This is Rob.
And this is George.
And we'll see you guys next week. We love you.
Love y'all.